and I don't really remember if I did a bit without you guys. I think I might have. Anyway, this one, I actually had started typing a message to track me that this is actually 11, and since they don't even give it an exact command, just to start the first 1,000 ports, why not have the correct answer? Then there was an interesting line here. Let's start it first. So this was kind of interesting, because it uses one of the scripts of Nmap to enum shares, enum users. And also I get the explanation why we always have these two ports. Or not always, maybe. But as far as I've seen, I think there's mostly both of them. It's partially backwards compatibility with pre-2000 version. So I'm just going to eat some breakfast too here. I spent yesterday editing a lot of making highlights of the old ones, streams. So I've just been like cutting out, this is this room, this is this room, kind of thing. I can't really watch all of it anymore, unfortunately. But I did really get a refresher on that the mic did just die some time ago, and I think it hasn't been dying anymore since I switched it to the USB hub, which is kind of nice. I prefer the mic not just suddenly dying. Well, it just started suddenly and then it seemed to have stopped. Well, touch wood on that. So no just dying today, Mike. There. Yeah. I actually opened it. This is now in my private Obsidian part, and I try saving memory since I've had a few crashes. Not last stream, but I think the one before that it crashed twice at the end. And I do think I kinda know what to do. But today I did forget that and this is not actually on the list, just a thing I do. I always turn the audio on, because at the night I turn the audio off on the computer. So I thought I'd just add it to the list there. And in case I would look. Now this needs to be done like headphones are off, and when I look at this, you see the tones. Turn unmute unmute main speakers there, cause I think I actually had volume on my ear thingy when I started stream today, but the music in the background apparently still was connected to this volume. So that's interesting too. Maybe because I just started it, maybe because it was what was on just when I clicked to start streaming. I don't know. I don't think it was. I think I put this in before. So maybe the computer had not realized. Anyway, I think that's kinda, I think we can close those notes now. That's just me getting started with my Kenobi stuff. We have this tax declaration at the start of May every year, so I'm starting checking everything. And there, now we have an IP. Starting my virtual machine. Apparently it didn't realize I clicked the play button. No. So maybe we should rerun this, because I don't think I did on stream. Yeah. And then let's continue. So this is the last room in the Complete Beginner. So when we finish this one, we're done with Complete Beginner. Won't that be nice? So, VM up and awake. Just logging in. I think actually it might be tactical to start OBS first and maybe not start streaming though. I guess it's okay. So I think everything is running now then. I did actually make a page in my notes for this one, since there were some interesting things. Yeah, so it got its tiny here. We can see the IPs. Since this is not a box, so I usually put credentials and stuff here. This is the Nmap scan. We don't have to redo it, but we have FTP, SSH, HTTP, which is just an image, and the robots points to this one, and that one says, I think it's in my notes there, like rabbit hole kind of thing. Then we have the 111, which we will look at, I think, and then we have SMB, and then we have NF. There's a lot of stuff here, so these obviously are not intended to be found then, because they're just counting the 7 in the answer. But I'm curious what it is, though. Yeah, some other information. SMB information there. And we didn't find anything with a quick Google scan, and it's a trap, was the image contents there. And apparently a Star Wars theme, which we could have guessed there. Oh, well, we can just look at these here on the notes. So, also this weekend I installed finally NetExec, so we can be modern. And I just tried this, and we found this anonymous share. And since they suggested doing it with Nmap, I did that. And we get this other information that they used account guest. And users 2. I'm curious about this information. Then guests have read write. And also there's on this one. Yeah, right. I looked a bit at the, because I used this to get the file, but they had a suggestion to use. Is it in the notes, or was that where I stopped? Yeah, I think that's where I stopped. Their suggested command actually didn't work. And I looked at it a bit, and it appears that they have kind of messed up, that the switch is doubled. So I tried to make like a bug report, and well, that was to do that you had to get an account, so I need to send a mail, and you should get a return mail from that. And I think I did that kind of late last night. I can always see if I got a reply, but maybe that's not the focus. But anyway, the command didn't work that they suggest. Let's see here. So, but I want to add everything to the notes, you know. So we're on the SMB bit. We have done this, and you saw the output, so we don't have to rerun it. Yeah, and what's the text file's name? And this is the R option. That apparently they have changed the meaning of the R, so it's not recursive anymore. You have to type recurse for the recurse one. But also, if you send it a directory, it will tell you to use the R one, so it's supposed to be that still. That's kind of the bug. Right, I also looked at the code for it. So, the error message you get. Yeah, I did search for R. So, highlight all. They should be, I think it's the first one actually. Yeah, specify R to download recursively. And then if you get the help for it, I don't think it's in this file. For some reason. But then you get a message that it's actually not that way. I have not saved that output though, which I didn't save any of the output from this, so maybe we should just redo it just to get up to date where I was on this. Let's do that. Let's go to this one. Alright, also I want these visible, and we want the TTS window active, so, or at least not minimized, so Chrome don't get ideas about closing it down. It might just stop working if we don't have it. Yeah, and I have not taken an allergy medicine. Let's take allergy pulse. With tea, apparently, since I have no water. There, and some breakfast too. I'm actually going to copy their command. If we do this without the R now, yeah, specify R. And it's doing with the resolving. That's what R is instead now. So if we look at SMB get, and I think we need to do this. And then we see that R is actually this now. And to get... am I blind? Here, recursive. You have to type recursive. So I think they kind of messed up and doubled it. And Oh well, maybe since this is added afterwards, it's overridden the other one. We don't have to look into this more. I just thought it was a bit funny that it's like this. We could do the recurse one. I think it actually still doesn't work though. Let's see if we do recurse. Recursive. So it's the whole word. Recursive. What did I say wrong now? Oh, I just used one dash, right? I think I just used one dash there. So that's the problem. So there, now say that file exists, but it failed to download. So I don't know why it fails, and I want to dig into it now either. But we have the file from just getting it the normal way. Well, normal. Is there a normal way? SMB client. So let's continue with the next bit, which is FTP, Pro FTPD, and we can see the version in the nmap. And they use Netcat to connect to the FTP port, so let's do that. That's interesting, because I need to practice things like that, using Netcat for more stuff. If we look at this, so we're actually going to make a new note there, and then look at the map, and FTP is of course a 21. Maybe we should do that for more of them. Maybe we'll find information about things. So yeah, 2, and then the IP that I don't remember, but we used it some bit ago, like just now. It's still on the screen. So if we just NC and just do the IP here, 10, 140, 251, and the port 21. And there we'll get the number, version number 2. Though I don't know what you should type to get anything from this. So could we give it commands here? Will that work? Yeah, invalid command for a new line. What if I don't know FTP commands? Yeah, ls not understood. So I don't know the FTP protocol. That's kind of funny though. I'm sweaty from the shower still. So basic FTP commands. Oh, the coloring. Oh well, I guess we'll have to have FTP machine arm. And we're not using FTP, so it might not work because of that, you know, but ls should work. So probably we'll have to use FTP. So we would connect with Netcat just to see what it is then. And when we get the reply, we know a bit more about it. So that's a way to find information. Though this might be interesting to have, the FTP commands listed, but I guess that if you would actually run FTP, it would tell you, because there's a help one here, I guess. Yeah. So we have the version number. We can use search bar to find exploits. Okay, so we're not connecting by FTP. If we're doing it later, I wouldn't have to do it now. So when I tried, because it was a long time since I used the FTP command with the terminal. So, wrong screen. So if we won't need the port because it's the default. If we do FTP instead, name, password, login failed. So we're not logged in, and I can't spell help. But here we have it all. Anyway, let's that be enough. Yeah, let's use search split. There is Google. Let's follow its instructions. So, pro FTPD 1.3.5. Will that work? Yeah. Command execution Metasploit. Oh, sorry. Morning times. Oh, how many? 4? And I've decided not to care about this one because I don't want to do it both weekend days. If I don't, really. I have a family. So, and I don't want to do a script saying it's not worth it for me. You should have found an exploit. Mod copy module. 1, 3, more like 3. Implements. Well, the mod copy module implements site cpfr and site cpto commands, which can be used to copy file directories from one place to another on the server. An authenticated client can leverage these commands to copy files from any part of the file system to a chosen destination. We know that the FTP server is running as the Kenobi user from the file on the share, and an SSH key is generated for that user. Yeah, let's look at the notes at that file. So here, so home kenobi.ssh. We have this, and this is, let's see, maybe it's in the bottom. It's like some kind of log file or something. Configuration, probably, right? It looks like configuration. Homes, comment, home directory, read only, profiles. Yeah, so this was the file. There, and we didn't save this output. I guess I should do it just to have it. So I'm just up arrowing and saving this output. So if I search now, and if I would be interested in this for some reason, I will find it. Why did I do that? Because it says NC there. I don't know. And try FTP. I did do that too. Name. Let's just click anything. We don't need this in the notes. Nah. Well, we don't need that in the notes. Skip that and go back here. We know that the FTP server is running as a Kenobi user from the file on the share, and that's why we look at it. And an SSH key is generated. We're now going to copy Kenobi's private key using site cpfr inside gpto commands. Oh, here we can use those commands. Oh, cool. This is cool. I like this. So, there's more to this netcatting. We can use commands here, but not the normal commands. I'm now curious what other commands there could be. But this is a vulnerability that I guess is not available like in the current version, but it used to work this. So if we go netcat again, and this time we type things. Oh, let's see. I think I have a quick message from my mom, just checking. Oh, everybody. I'm getting pictures of flowers and bunnies. The flowers taste good. Okay, just checking. So site cpfr and then the path home Kenobi dot ssh idrc. So yeah. So now we're asked for the destination name, because I was thinking like we need the destination too. So that's when we type the other one. Site cpto var tmp id rsa and I assume that's the Samba directory. I think it was. Okay, I misspelled it. Oh yeah, my goodness. Now let's see if we can fix this by just using a space. Why did I think there was a... It's kind of bad image, but still I should have seen there was no space there. So var tmp. Adding extra characters is not useful. Or say. So there. Let's copy this for the notes. We knew, so we moved. Let's go to the notes here and add this one too. And let's remove this one because it's just confusing right there. So the file should be copied. And I assume we can find it now. Or we're going to mount it. But now I'm curious. Wasn't this the directory that... Well, whatever. It might not have been then. Let's just quickly look at the notes. Could we see what directory this was? Maybe not. Oh, whatever. So, time for the next bit. So, we're going to mount it. Very cute name too. Let's make notes. As always. Then let's type the command so that I remember better. Okay, let's use their names. Kenobi, NFS. We're using their names. So so let's... Oh, maybe we should just do that instead. Oh, why don't I use LA? I was thinking why no output, but that's because I forgot LA. There. You should always use your normal commands so you get your normal output right. So let's...
Rennick says, hi.
Hi, good morning. Or whatever time zone you're in. So 10, 10, 140, and 251. And then we also need the directory, and it's var, and we want it to be.
Hey, what are you doing? Looks kinda complicated.
This is Try Hack Me, so it's teaching us things. So yeah, this was interesting. This bit. This bit was interesting. Using netcat command to use this vulnerability to copy a file to a place where we can mount. So now we're mounting it and looking at the files there. So if you're interested in this kind of thing,
Ooh, I heard about
Try
Hack Me. Are you advanced at this stuff?
No, I'm just a noob. So I've started getting interested a year ago, like that. So some people, they've been doing it for years and years and work with it and things. I'm just learning so that I can apply for jobs. I've worked in IT though and done other stuff. So MNT. So oh, wrong page. I'm hopping around in the Track Me page instead of typing on the command line. So MNT.
Linux Gamer 77 says, "Evening all."
Oh,
Rinix says,
"Good evening."
"Do you worked in IT?"
Yeah. So I worked since 96.
Is it hard to transition to cyber?
Well, I don't know yet. I don't think I know. I was kind of waiting for finishing this at least until I apply for stuff. So I've been listening to a lot of podcasts, and I think I might have learned more from that than from Try Hack Me, and also listened to or watched a lot of streams. But I think I need to do a bit more.
Linux Gamer 77 says, "Been trying here for a few months."
Okay. So you've been applying for jobs then? Or just learning things? Let's see. Mount. Yeah.
Rinix says, "What's the progress?" Linux Gamer 77. Linux Gamer 77 says, "Applying for jobs."
Yeah. So how many have you found good jobs to apply for? Like starting jobs that you don't need to have lots of experience for already. Because I guess that could be a problem.
Rinix says, "Ooh, do you have a certificate in cybersecurity?" Linux Gamer 77.
So now look. Now we can look at the
Linux
path
Gamer 77
used.
says, "Master's degree and 16 certs."
Oh my god. No, do you?
Rinix says,
Do you have
"Well,
that?
nice."
Oh, that's nice. So
Do you have Discord?
var TV. So that's the path. So let's actually go there.
Linux Gamer 77 says, "Yep, plus 18 plus years in operational technology."
Okay, cool, very
Rinix
cool.
says, "Oh wow. How old are you?" Linux Gamer 77 says, 47.
Yeah, cool. You're my age. Oh, that was. I'm hoping my age not being a problem later, cause all the experience we have. But that's nice. You should join my Discord, by the way. We can connect there. Both of you and everybody is welcome in. It's just exclamation Discord, or you can see the links probably in chat there somewhere. Because it kind of pops up sometimes. So
Rinnick
now we have
says,
the IDRC.
I bought a cert for Python, is that a good start? Linux Gamer 77. It's called like Python ethical hacking.
Oh, you have to do the course. Have you done like? I mean, you have to do stuff, not bought a cert.
And another course for cyber course from Google.
Okay, all knowledge is good, you know. Then I guess that there have different pricing.
Linux Gamer 77 says, problem isn't age, biggest issue is needing active security clearance. Mine ended 20 years ago, and being considered overqualified.
Oh yeah, I've thought about that too. Like some entering position and job in security you might be considered overqualified if you worked in IT for lots of years. I thought about that. We'll see. But you have applied for lots of work jobs, but you haven't gotten any then. I guess you would try like a different angle, changing your CV up and stuff. Don't add all the experience there if they consider you overqualified. Depending on the job you're applying for, that could be a trick. Right, you could only add the latest.
Had 1 interview for IoT devices security, and 3 written interviews for GRC analyst.
Okay. Written interviews, I've never heard of that. That's interesting. Yeah, I guess we should continue with this one too. So, I guess we should copy the file. So,
Rinnick says, what age did you get into cyber? Linux Gamer 77.
And also, what certs do you have? So, let's copy the IDRC to
in 19 still, crying face.
Oh, but you have your whole life ahead of you. Your age is nothing to cry about. You can, if you get started now, you can learn so much. And you'll get to see cool stuff we probably won't, right? Right, you're on the right screen there. So I'm just thinking, where should we copy it to our machine? Should we just copy it to the home directory? And I'm having problem with my keyboard finding the keys. So there, let's actually remember again the key. So kind of lots of stuff here, but we should have that file over here. Here. So 846, that's the one. So let's change the permissions. Yeah, and I didn't. Maybe we should rename it to something. Let's do that. Let's ID or say to ID or say dot Kenobi there, and then we can.
John Rosemary says, good morning.
Good morning. There, so we have the the right permissions, because in case there's someone that doesn't know, you need to change it or SSH will complain. Because everybody has access to your key. What is Kenobi's use? Okay, so we have a question to answer. We need to connect. SSH, is it I? Yes, it's I. So ID RSA dot Kenobi, and then we have Kenobi at and 1010. Where do I have the IP? I have to scroll up here. 140.251. So there. So if we just look here and let's cat the user.txt and we copy this to the page. Also, we should add this to the notes. So notes, what did we actually do here? Let's copy some stuff. Why did I list all of it? I always list everything, you know. So if we go from the top, we have so let's just well, it's still selected, it's just not visible anymore. There it is. So I'm just pasting it on the screen. I'm not gonna hop back and forth for everything. And then we have, I'm trying to scroll here. So we have the mount there, and we have so let's take this one. So it's still connected there in case we would have anything else interesting there. But now we can actually, well, we're connected. So oh, itches on my back. I guess just taking bits of this. It doesn't have to be all of it, and it doesn't have to be like perfect in any way. Just so we have it saved, we don't have to have all of this. So I guess this bit is interesting. I renamed the file so it's connected to the last thing, and the last bit is actually the SSH. Let's make a new node for 7 SSH, and here we can put stuff that are in the shell of the machine. Well, I guess this would be there, right? I'm just making these notes. This is not really a box, but I'm putting it in the box notes since it could be kind of interesting to have these things. So we'll see. I'm kind of assuming that on the next page Sorry. It's allergy times. So, no, what am I doing? I just need to tab to this. So, since this is not a box, it's just, oh, we're going to use suets. So maybe we shouldn't read more, but to explore it ourselves. Oh my god. My voice. I'll just get more allergy. Uh, we'll see if the I turned the air cleaner on too, so we'll see. If the air gets cleaner. First let's understand these. I actually made kind of long notes on these yesterday. On files, no meaning. Well, unless it's an ancient operating system, apparently. Sued bits can be dangerous. Some binaries, such as passwd, need to be run with elevated privileges, as is resetting your password on the system. However, other custom files that have the sued bit can lead to all sorts of issues. To search the system for these, you can run the following. Yeah, we can run this one. In another room recently, we had a very cool one, which did exec ls lslay on the file it found. So we had the full listing of them with permissions. What file looks particularly out of the ordinary? So let's run it, and let's also compare to the other listing. I don't know what's usually here. This is interesting. I should really have a list of what's common, Let's actually run it. So if we run it on my machine too, and we'll see. I have the full installation, which might be a problem now, right? And also, in my notes, I have this, let's see, let's keep this one up. Or rather, yeah, I did just do this. So I think I made kind of long notes, and here I have an example of normal ones. But what I was going for now was actually looking at this one with the exec. So that's kind of nice. You can actually see the permissions better. That was my hobby going to work. If you heard the door close, I'm going to go check in my kids that at least one of them are awake in a bit. So what on earth was I going for? Yeah, this one. Yeah. And also, all these 4,000 and things, do you see? Maybe this is not... No, this is not the place with the notes. I'm kind of curious now. Yeah, it's like Linux file permissions. There. This is it. So, cause I had this... Yeah. These are the special permissions. And that's the first or fourth, you know, in the backwards order. And those are these settings for those. Sorry for going off track here. Yeah, and also with the S and S. So, with this one, with the listing, we could always add that just to see. I'm just copying it, and let's do this thing again. I know that we have a goal here, but I want to learn as much as possible while doing this. So if we add this here, we should get instead a nice listing here. And the question is, which one would be especially off and not normal? Apparently, like sudo is normal, and the chfn is also normal. And we get a hint. This menu doesn't sound like a normal command, so that might be it. What are the others? We know that this one's supposed to have it. The more I read of these, the more I will recognize them the next time. So, what if we try here and type an answer? And I'm going to guess that is the menu one. And that was what they wanted. So what if we run it? How many options appear in, okay, the menu? So let's run it. am I going to type it again? I guess so. So USR, then menu. And I misspelled. There are 3 items in the menu, so I'm just going to answer 3 here on the question. Strings is a command in Linux that looks for human readable strings and a binary. So I'm guessing it wants us to run strings on this one. So we could also, of course, just do run it. So let's first do strings, or rather, I don't want to type that again. So this is also interesting, right? We have library files. And then after the menu it has curl unit. So kind of matches the commands there then. So let's see what they say. This shows us the binaries running without a full path. Oh, right. I should have seen that. Not using USR bin curl or USR bin uname. As this file runs as a root privileges, we can manipulate our path, gain a root shell. So echo. Okay, right. That's easy. I was thinking we would have to make our own, but we can just. So it does echo it to curl. Why do they echo and not just copy? I'm very curious now. So let's not echo. Let's try just copying and see why wouldn't that work? Why? Can someone tell me why they did echo? So if let's just try copying it first and see if there's a problem with this. And we're still in this directory with the switch, so we should have permissions. So instead of echoing as they do, we're trying copy. Missing destination file.
Linux Gamer 77 says,
Okay.
Sorry was doing something. What's the question?
Why are they doing echo? No, right. Oh my god. Before copy, we shouldn't have this. There. So why didn't they just copy it? In the instructions here, they use echo. Is it just to show another way to copy a file? There. Let's see now. I'm typing on the wrong screen. Chmod.
Are they printing to a text file?
No, it's we want a new binary for it to run. We using that it doesn't use full path and put it in the local directory. Curl So it's using curl, and we're just replacing curl with sh. So maybe they just wanted to show a new way. So export. Well, let's first look at path. So we can see the old one. Kenobi bin. So we could just put it there too. We wouldn't have to change the path, but let's do it then. Export path equals wrong characters TMP. Okay, so no, we're not in TMP, so their thing is not actually suitable for us. So let's just add home Kenobi to it instead. Home Kenobi there, and let's do colon in the old path there. So now the path should have a new thing at the start. Good. So it will look first in our directory, and then they run it again, and as it's doing suid, maybe I should just type menu. So when we run it again, and the first one uses curl, and apparently this didn't work. So why? Might it have been my way to copy it? So we have a curl here. It is executable, and it's in the current directory. So let's add also just dot, not to complicate things. And let's try menu again and do one again. And was it actually the first choice or the first option? I would guess so. So maybe there was a reason they used echo. And if we do the same thing they did, which is echo bin sh into curl there, and if we look again, okay. So this didn't copy the file. This is just the size 8. So we just wanted this in there, of course. Okay. Yeah. That's logical, and I get what they did now. Why didn't I see that at first? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh. I actually have to try something else afterwards. Let's see. Is there something else we should do? We should get the root flag too. So well, I prefer actually seeding. And we can cat root .txt. There, and I'm going to paste it over here. I'm not going to click the button yet though. And we also, we have this one too. It's not completed. So I don't want to finish the room before we're done. Wake up at the bin, say shell, called Carl. No, you didn't. Gave it the correct permission and then put its location in our path. Did they mistype or didn't they know what they were doing? This meant that when the /user menu was run, it was using, actually a version of user sh as well as this file being run as root. It runs our shell as root. Yeah. So this does not copy, which I thought at first too, because I was actually reading cat here when it said echo. That's what I did. So I was thinking it catted it into curl, and that's just copying. But it actually makes a file called curl, which just starts the shell, which is much smarter. And apparently copying it didn't work, which is kind of funny too. Maybe you'd have to do something else to bring the permissions along there, right?
Well, did you have permission to copy that file?
Permission to copy a file? You mean, did I have permission to read the shell? Let's scroll up here. Yes, and we set it permission. Permissions. So at first I just forgot to remove this, and then when I did it, it just worked fine. And we had the file here. Here, but this is the full binary, and that didn't work, but this worked. To just echo the string into a file named curl and make it executable, that worked. So the question is, why didn't this work? Apparently it doesn't bring along the suid permission there. For some reason.
Says, can you cat the menu file?
Menu is executable, so we stringed it before here. And then we found that what it does are these 3 commands for these, and it doesn't use the full path, and that's why we could do that. So this is what it runs. So the question is, why is the permissions not brought along when this curl is an executable, but it is brought along when it is just a text file executable? That's interesting. Does anyone have the reply I'm looking for? We could also just send it to ChatGPT. I can start it on the other screen. I'm just typing a question here. Why will Echo work but not copying the... We could also try with bash, if that would be different. Because sh is not really the... It's just like a shortcut, right? Or is there certain security measures for the shell there? But that would... I would have heard about that, wouldn't I have? Well, will Echo work but not copying sh there, colon, and then we're going to add all of this. And
I think for option 1 it uses a function to run a system command, so when it runs that curl it reads the content of that file, so it actually try execute that.
So when it runs that curl, it reads the content of that file, so... I don't really get what you mean, unfortunately. I'll read it once more. I'm just copying this. So let's copy this. And while this will make it slow reply, we can check. I think option 1...
Tay to echo in curl /bin/nano and run again.
Echo. Try to echo in curl. So you mean to echo bin nano instead?
Instead of /bin/sh.
Yeah, the typo day, right? Yeah, sure. We can try that. Let's just see what ChatGPT said first. In the provided scenario, the user bin menu program seems to allow executing commands based on user input. No, it doesn't. When you name the curl and then...
Sorry, I use my phone.
Yeah, okay, no problem. No problems at all. I can read it anyway. And then executed. You were able to escalate probably issues root because the program executed the contents of curl file which was bin sh. However, when you tried copying the curl using the cp command, it didn't work as expected.
Linux Gamer 77
this
says,
because cp expects destination file operand after the source file.
Ending
so
command
cp
would exit you as root rather than user.
Ending command would exit you. I'm sorry. Was bin sh being run as root? Yeah, but the thing is that to run like a script starting it or running the actual executable, what is the difference? Let's see if it got anything reasonable or if it's just... this is because CP expects the destination file operand after the sort file. So CP... Oh my god. It's my typo. It got stuck on my typo. So echoing into curl or directly copying into curl should work. Yeah, but it didn't. That's the problem. Should I change it, or should I say, you got stuck on my typo? On my typo. The successful CP of the executable did not work. But what actually happened is not that it was not run. It was not run. The paths didn't seem to work there. It seemed to still use the whatever it can get the typo. Use the actual curl instead of our replacement in the local there. It seems like even after successfully copying the BNSH binary to a file named curl in the local directory, the system file prioritizes system-wide curl. This behavior is likely due to the order of directories. No, it is not. To ensure that curl is executed. But didn't it see? As you can see in what I sent you, both dot and the local dir name are before the actual curl's path in the path var. Starting a new shell session. Cached path. But why would it be different depending on if it's an executable or a script? Because it's a script, the echo one. Which response do you prefer? So you want me to read two? You're correct, as you both. In this case, it indeed expected that the system prioritizes the system-wide curl. Yes. Might be other factors here. One possibility is that there are aliases or functions defined for. Yeah. Another possibility is that there's some kind of security mechanism in place. Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, that would be odd. Additionally, there might be other environment available for configuration settings affecting the behavior. LD library path, but this is not a library. Exploring these possibilities might provide you insights on. Okay, the path were correctly was correctly modified to include the current directory. No, we don't want to see our own stuff outputted by you, thank you. In this case, the local directory is indeed placed before the system. Yes. However, it seems that we call about various factors such as shell settings, environment, caching, the other. Yes, but we can't change the path in there. That's the whole point. Nice. I'm just going to check on my kid. It has to be awake, so. Oh my. Definitely spring. I get out of breath from walking up the stairs. That's not the usual thing. Right, I was going to say, the path works for our simple script. Let's too many types in the same word, I think. Our simple script made by Echo, but not for the executable. I'm going to try with bash. Oh, sorry.
Arduku says, I think they used execute curl not execute /full/path /curl, and since you have in path/current/dir and there is a curl there, it executes that one which redirects to /bin/sh, and that's why it works.
Sorry, we're selling my mom's. So that was a person helping to sell a house. Well, the first connection actually. So let's see now. What did he say? I think they used execute curl, not execute full path curl. Since you have the path in current dir and there is a curl there, it executes the one which redirects to bin sh. And that's why yeah, but the thing is that it works with a script. It doesn't work when I copy the executable. That's what I'm trying to find, the reason for it. So that's the reason, that's what we're exploiting. But why doesn't it work when I copy bin sh? Why does it work when I echo bin sh into a text file? That's the question. So, the path works for a simple script made by Echo, but not for the executable there.
Linux Gamer 77 says, Backdory read the walkthrough.
What? This is a learning room, so it's a walkthrough in itself. So I try other stuff than they say, and it didn't work. Okay. Sure. So I did first try to copy the executable. Let's go here.
So cp is a binary command, right?
Yeah. So let's see. No, this is too far off. My goodness. So here we copy the binary, and we didn't have to do this here, but it's done. We have this here in the local directory. The path is set to the local directory, and it still says can't open localhost, meaning it's the real curl, you know. So then I tried to use their example thing to just echo bin sh into curl, and here apparently it's still set as an executable without me doing anything. That's a funny permissions thing. And then we get the root. It works. And the only difference between these two, I didn't change anything with the path. It's just that instead of being an actual executable here, sh, it is the simple text in a text file that's set to executable. So that's let's see what ChatGPT says now, and this is kind of last try. That's a crucial distinction. It seems like there might be some specific security feature or configuration affecting the execution of binary from the current directory. One possibility is that the security feature like AppArmor. I don't think so. These security modules often come with default policies. Another possibility is there's a specific configuration or setting on the system that prevents execution of binaries in the current directory, perhaps security. I don't think so. In either case, the behavior you're observing, where the system allows execution of a script made by Echo, but not an executable binary in the same directory, suggests there's some kind of specific restriction. To further investigate possibly bypass a restriction, you might need to delve into the system security configuration. Well, I don't think that's a problem. So let's just do one more test, and then I'm kind of abandoning this because we can't spend all day on it. And also, this is the last thing. We're actually finished with the complete beginner path. So let's exit this. And there we have the curl. So I'm actually going to delete it now, right? So
Fixerbot says.
So it's actually gone.
New follower 080. Less than 3.
Welcome in 080. So now we have no thing here. So if we now cp, let's do bin bash this time. To here, and look at it. We have bash, and it's executable by default. So if we now move bash to curl, and look at it, and it's called curl now, and it's bigger than the sh one was. And if we now run the menu, so I don't remember the path. User bin menu. And we do one now. We still get the normal curl. This is the problem, Why? So we could just kill our path. We won't do anything more with this box again. So if we just set path, if we export path equals to home, I think spelling the path right is kind of important. Kenobi. No, we can't do this. We will just kill everything. But we can set this as the first one. Path equals to, so it's not dot there, I mean. No, I have another thought. So let's do path, and then do export path equals, and let's actually copy and edit this. Right, so we remove the dot there. Just to make sure here. We're in home Kenobi. I'm not just assuming. We did check. So, no such file or directory is always a nice thing to have in your path. So let's copy this path. We're removing this one. And we're doing export path equals, and I'm pasting this bit. So now our path should be this. So, if we now run this again, now it's not like the current directory, you know. If we do 1, now we got another message. Yeah. So now we got an actual error message. This seems like an error message. That should be okay. I think that... Yeah. I think this is kind of the error, right? This is logical. This is more logical. Let's see, what did we get up here? I think I might have understood what the problem is. Because here we get can't open localhost, you know? This is what we got before when we tried. But I still don't get why that didn't work with the SH. But now we get a more logical one, which we're trying to run a bash with something, and it's actually using. It's say it can't find the file like localhost, right? We're kind of like telling it run the localhost script with bash, right? So that's more logical.
Arduku says, try which echo greater than curl and run it again. It should echo the arguments the binary puts as arguments.
Why?
Alyriton says,
Oh.
Hi, run Strace and you'll see what is happening.
Yeah. But I think I know now what happened here. Because now it's actually working. We got it working now. It's doing the file. It's just not working the same way with a script. Because when we use a script, it kind of not cares about the arguments for the executable, since it's doing the script. So that's why it works. And when we do it as an executable now, we got another message before, and I don't know why that was, but now we're actually getting something logical out of it. So I'm kind of pleased with this. We don't need to dig any further on this one, and we're actually done with. Let's celebrate this victory instead. So I don't care if it's expiring, because we're actually we have a next room. Okay. Oh, was there one more room? Now I have to look. I thought there was the last one, but I guess there's one more. Yeah, there's one more. So we have one more room. Then we're finished with it. So let's see. This is the last one. Steel Mountain. Hack into Mr. Robot-themed Windows machine. Use Metasploit for initial access. Utilize PowerShell for Windows privilege escalation enumeration, and learn a new technique to get administrator access. Also, let's finish the notes, because we made notes for this one, though it's not actually machine. So let's do here. I'm just going to quickly copy it all. See how far up. So here we have the LSLA. So I'm going to just copy it all. And I think I'll actually delete a few lines, since it's kind of much. And there were this back and forth thing. But I think that most of this is just yeah, we don't need several versions of the permissions, right? So let's delete the ugly one, or maybe it's easier to read. I don't know. Which one is better to have in your notes? And I misspelled. We run it. We aborted it and did strings on it. We have a character destroying the obsidian output. So let's just make a new one here. And then we, I mistyped. So we did this, and this is kind of maybe interesting to still have here. Is there anything else I want to delete? Should we have these eternal list? Ah, it's not that long. Let's just say bye-bye to these. We have quite a few here. And I think we'll actually do box notes on this one too, though it's not really let's call this done, even though it's not a box. So I know this is nothing. I have to go